Hey everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and haunting stories of the 20th century, the Chernobyl disaster. If you've ever heard spooky tales of mutants lurking in the ruins, you're in for a treat. We're going to explore the idea of monsters linked to this infamous nuclear power plant. Now, don't worry, we'll separate myth from reality, discussing both what's been imagined in movies and books, along with the real impacts of radiation on wildlife in the area. So, first things first, what happened at Chernobyl? On April 26, 1986, something went horribly wrong at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. A reactor exploded during a late night safety test, sending a massive plume of radioactive particles into the atmosphere. The nearby city of Pripyat, home to thousands of workers and their families, was evacuated just 36 hours later. Imagine being told to leave your home with almost no time to pack. The fallout from the disaster was catastrophic, leading to long-lasting environmental damage and health issues for many people. To this day, Chernobyl stands as a chilling reminder of the risks associated with nuclear energy. The exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer radius around the plant, is still largely uninhabited, but it has a new and intriguing story to tell, one filled with life and, yes, some creepy folklore. Now, let's talk about how Chernobyl has inspired pop culture. From video games to films, the idea of mutants or monsters stemming from the disaster has captured our imagination. You've probably seen movies that paint a picture of a post-apocalyptic world where mutated creatures roam the earth. It creates a thrilling narrative that adds to the fear and mystery surrounding Chernobyl. But here's the thing. While these tales can be entertaining, they often exaggerate or misinterpret the real situation there. So let's peel back the layers and see what's real and what's not. You might be wondering, are there actually mutated creatures in Chernobyl? Well, scientists have been studying the wildlife in the exclusion zone since the disaster. Believe it or not, some animals are thriving in this radioactive landscape. Researchers have found that animals like wild boars, wolves, and even rare Przewalski's horses are living in the area. While radiation can cause mutations in certain species, it's important to note that not everything is as dramatic as Hollywood might suggest. Many of these creatures appear healthy and exhibit normal behavior. However, scientists have observed some genetic changes, which can be fascinating and a little unsettling. So, yes, while there are some differences, the reality is not quite the horror show that movies make it out to be. Let's dive a little deeper into the interesting wildlife we find in Chernobyl. Przewalski's horses, once extinct in the wild, have made a comeback here. They roam freely in the exclusion zone, and it's incredible to think they're thriving in an area that human beings abandoned. Wolves have also populated the zone, creating their own little community. Some researchers even note that the absence of humans has allowed these animals to flourish rather than succumb to the radiation. Aside from the familiar wildlife, there are reports of some unusual plant growth as well. Still, for every story of resilience, there's a concern about potential health effects due to the lingering radiation, underscoring the complicated relationship between nature and nuclear fallout. Let's face it, there's a human tendency to fear the unknown. In places like Chernobyl, that fear often morphs into legends and superstitions. Local myths about strange creatures lurking in the ruins can spur the imagination, fueling the idea of monsters. This blending of reality with superstition creates a captivating narrative that attracts curious explorers and adventurers. But it's crucial to remember that many of these stories are more fiction than fact. They illustrate our deep-seated anxieties about nature and technology, reminding us just how intertwined our lives are with both. So what does all this mean? Chernobyl has become a complex tale of disaster, resilience, and myth. While it's easy to get lost in stories of monsters, the real story is about life continuing amidst ruins, a testimony to nature's power. Whether it's the thriving wildlife or the haunting remains of abandoned towns, Chernobyl reminds us to reflect on our relationship with technology and the environment. The next time you hear a tale about mutants in the exclusion zone, you'll know the reality is both intriguing and nuanced. Definitely not all monsters lurk there. If you enjoyed this journey through the shadows of Chernobyl, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing content. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any creepy stories you know. Drop them in the comments below. Until next time.